Arsenal were robbed. VAR, the PGMOL, the rules in general have a big problem. They have a very big problem. They've got holes in them. And City cheated at the weekend. That is the big claim that has been made today in relation to the law of the game. Like, share, and subscribe. We're going to jump into it in a little bit more detail. Let's do this.
Holes in your system, because that's cheating. That is incredible. That's disgraceful. Granted, at the time, it's 2-1, but there's two big decisions here that rob Arsenal and favour Manchester City. So you could say Pep Guardiola, Man City, have played an absolute blinder because they know that rule and they know that nothing can happen from pushing a player into an offside position before the ball is kicked.
Well, it can. The free kick should either be retaken, or if it happens when the ball is kicked, it's either a new free kick or penalty where the offence took place. So they actually shouldn't be allowed to get away with it.
Hello, the richest league in the world, the biggest league in the world, the most watched league in the world. You've got holes in your system because that's cheating. That is incredible. That's disgraceful. And again, I applaud Man City. Pep Guardiola's been doing this for years. Make the early foul in their half. But when you know you're in danger, you probably won't even get booked. Been doing it for years with Barcelona, Bayern and Man City. We're now seeing Man City shove players into offside positions so that goals don't get given.
Isn't it interesting how when Arsenal were being dragged through the mud for the dark arts, no one talks about it when it's Man City. No one speaks about it on any level. Just thought that was an interesting observation.
Technically, they got that right. They can't give a foul. But it's cheating. And then the other one is Bernardo Silva, surprise, surprise, on a yellow card, again on Dan Burn, not looking at the ball and absolutely taking him out. It's like Tyson Fury getting knocked over by Bilbo Baggins. It's a complete and utter mismatch. So when you see Dan Burn going to the ground from Bernardo Silva, you know something's gone on. But again, VAR can't get involved because they can't get involved in yellow cards.
I agree with a lot of what Mark has said here. Newcastle should feel hard done by. Arsenal, because they're in a title race with City, should feel hard done by. Now, I don't for a single second feel that decisions only ever go against Arsenal. Some decisions go in their favour. Same as some decisions go against Manchester City. But this, in such a big and pivotal game, was disastrous. Now, the PGMOL, they have made a point recently of pushes in the back being foul. So some will go, Terry, but Gabriel got pushed in the back. It was quite soft. Yes. Go look at all the recent pushes in the back. Go and look at how many were given last night in the Man United-Everton game. They've made a stance on it. It's what they're doing. So now we'll hold them to a level of accountability on that. You're absolutely right. It was wrong based on their own logic that they allowed Hugo Ekitike's goal to stand at the beginning of the season. But they've predominantly been given nudges in the back, pushes in the back as fouls all year. We've seen that with the two João Pedro penalties. But these particular incidents that Mark Goldbridge calls out here, there needs to be a conversation about them. We need to hear from Howard Webb. We need to hear from the PGMOL. We know what they'll tell us. Right now, I've got to put this in quote tweets because I keep receiving cease and desist letters. Keep having to sign for these at my house. Keep getting sent these, asking me all manner of questions about what I say about the PGMOL. Cease and desist notification. That's the third one I've had. I'm not going to listen to them but that's why I've got to make this statement I'm about to make. That the title of this video, part of it will be in quotations, and that is not me trying to suggest that that's exactly what Howard Webb or the PGMOL will say. It's my interpretation of what they're saying. So, for instance, if I ask my other half, are you okay? And she says, I'm fine. I know she's angry. So if I say you're angry, that's not me lying that's what she has said. It's how I know she feels based on the I'm fine. So that type of scenario, so I don't get another one of these bad boys, right, is I think what they're going to tell us indirectly is, yeah, we really messed up and robbed Arsenal. We really messed up here and robbed Newcastle United. You know it's coming. You know it's going to come. You know it's happening. And fair play to Mark Goldbridge for calling this out, because a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people want Arsenal to not win the league, which is fair, which is their right to. I'm not disputing that. But what it then leads to is people ignoring these glaring issues, these glaring errors. And we have to call it out. On top of that, we saw last night Man United versus Everton. And the level of refereeing in that game was atrocious. The goalkeeper allowed to be fouled consistently throughout the course of the game and nothing happened. We saw Lenny Yoro thrown to the floor, which did result in a booking for Tarkowski. He did the same thing a few seconds later to Maguire and wasn't sent off. Why? We saw Branthwaite get twined up by Ahmad. As Ahmad's about to burst into the box, pulls him down by pulling his shirt. No yellow card given. Now, Ahmad didn't have a particularly good night. Ahmad didn't have a particularly good performance. But it could have been very different if the fullback he was up against was booked early. We keep seeing it. You know, cynical fouls early in games, yellow cards not given. Why? That allows that player to have at least one more cynical foul in a game. All of these things are bad for football. But on this particular scenario, I think Mark is right. Newcastle should feel it. Arsenal should feel it. A sense of being cheated this weekend just gone. And the crazy part about it is I saw so much talk about the push in the back of Gabriel when there are 10,000 examples of that being given as a foul. You get the obscure time, the weird time, the rare time, more than obscure, where it isn't given. Hugo Ekitike as an example. But yet everybody's focused on that. Nobody is focused on Bernardo Silva smashing his shoulders into the chest of Dan Burn just after being booked. And nobody's talking about pushing people into offside positions and then the protocol not being followed. Almost as if the PGMOL don't know their own rules. For me, this is an abomination. For me, this is a disgrace. But the bit that's saddening for me is I went on TalkSport's website as an example, one of the biggest radio stations in the world, one of the biggest football YouTube platforms in the world. And I went through all of their videos. I'm searching now. They mentioned Gabriel. That's a disgrace because he went down. But that's it. Nothing about City's situation. Nothing. If we go now, and I'm going to do this live, so I could get caught out. Let's go Sky Sports Premier League. Let's click on their uploaded videos. I've had a lot since Saturday. Let's have a little look. Best goalkeepers ever. Gary Neville podcast. Highlights. Anything on the Gabriel foul. One video on the Gabriel foul. None on Man City's. Interesting that, isn't it? That it's only Arsenal's favourable decision that's getting attention, but not the ones where, one, the protocol wasn't followed and a massive inconsistency was seen. Listen, as I say, I don't want to be getting another one of these in the post, right? So I've got to say this again. They will defend it. They will say that even if they say they've made an error, they won't say it in the words I'm about to use. But what they will be telling us in literal terms is we robbed Arsenal. We robbed Newcastle. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Like, share, and subscribe, please, people. And we're going to see you all again very, very soon. Peace.